yes. Oh, man. Let's get it. Let's start it. Let's look into this stuff. See what we got, man. We got the NBA today. And some college. NBA and college today. Let me shut the phone down. Alright, so look at this college slate. I looked at it a little bit. It's a bunch of teams. If you know what I mean. I mean, the best matchup that we probably got is Ohio State and Minnesota. Saw that game. Michigan, Northwestern. Washington, Arizona State. Oregon State and Cal. And then you got Oregon and Stanford. But let's look at some of these slates. Some of these games. Sheesh. The lowest spread today is literally at 10 o'clock. And that's the UC Davis game, but I ain't messing with them. UC Irvine and Santa Barbara play. UC Irvine 10-0 at home. They ain't lost at home yet. You got the spread at -8.5. Dang, that's a. UC Santa Barbara at 5-5 in the last 10, 5-5 against the spread. UC Irvine 8-2, 6-4 against the spread. Like I said, they haven't lost at home yet. The last team they smacked up at home was Hawaii. They played a close game at home against USC Bakersfield. It's not a good look. Then UC Santa Barbara, man, on the road, they just lost on the road by like 20. Some goodness, by like 18, something like that. But they did not cover. That's the only game they didn't cover on the road. But every other game they covered against Hawaii. They covered against CSU. They as well covered against the USC Bakersfield. Yeah, I mean they've been covering. They cover on the road. I mean their spread hasn't been no higher than 8. UC Irvine has covered twice. Yeah, they covered 1, 2. They covered 3 times. Over when it's -6.5. But let's get into some numbers. Let's see. Let's get into these numbers. See what's going on. So Santa Barbara, they shoot 36% from the 3. That's really good. It's top 100 offensive ranking. 49% from the field, and that's 9th. That's actually really good. UC Irvine defense, they allow opponents to shoot 41% from the field and 33% from the 3. UC Irvine, when it comes to their offense, 47% from the field, 35% from the 3. Santa Barbara defense, they allow opponents to shoot 45% from the field and 31% from the 3. So, I mean, that's not bad. Not bad. That's overall. But going based off home and away, UC Irvine at home, they shoot 36% from the field, 51% but 36% from the three, 51% from the field. Santa Barbara defense on the road is actually pretty good, allowing opponents to shoot 43% from the field, 24% from the three. That's what stands out to me the most. But you see Santa Barbara offense, 46% from the field, 30% from the three. You see Irvine, their defense really isn't good. Isn't that great from the three at home, allowing opponents to shoot 33% from the three and 41% from the field. I mean, they got the spread at -8.5. I mean, it's just one of them things. Can we rely on UC Irvine 24% from the three defensively? If they can hold UC Irvine to under 30% from the three, then this game will be like not only will it go under, but they'll cover that spread for sure. But let's get into another game. As well, I will be putting the picks that I do like into the Telegram from now on out. And I'll put some I do like on the video. I'll be explaining a lot of games, breaking down a lot of games, but I will also be putting what I do like into the Telegram. So join the Telegram, it's free. Link in the description. Hampton and Campbell. I'm looking at this game. They got the spread at -9. I mean, Hampton, bro, they're 0-10 on the road. They're terrible on the road and they're terrible at home. Let's look at Hampton last 10 games. They're 2-8, 64 against the spread. Campbell 4-6, 64 against the spread. They were just on the road. They lost 2 back-to-back on the road, but that's okay because they're back home. But Hampton on the road lost by 20 against Stony Brook. Howard, they beat Howard by 2, which is a good dub for them, I guess. But beat Howard by 2. They lost to North Carolina A&T by 1. They lost to the NJ Hogs, and they lost to Hofstra. Now these spreads has been ridiculous for Hampton. Like, I mean, they covered the 18.5. They covered the 12. They did not cover the 15 against the spread against. Oh, that's at home. But yeah, they covered on the road twice in January. They covered against Howard and NCAAB, and they did not cover against Stony. That's what worries me the most. They did not cover the spread against Stony. Campbell, when they are at home and they got a spread higher than 9.5, which they'd never see 9.5, right? -9, they're never favored. They were favored one time in the last 10 games, and they covered it against Elon. So for Campbell to have a -9 favorite to win against Hampton, I mean, I know Hampton is garbage. I know Hampton is slaw. They're bad. Hampton's bad. But for Campbell, they're also not good. I mean, they're 12-15. They're not good either. But I feel like Hampton, I mean, they lose, but on the road, the only team that they didn't cover against was Stony Brook. They covered against Howard and NCAAB. Campbell, go down the list. Stony Brook, they beat Stony Brook. It was +4. They beat them by like a smooth 18. They beat them by 18. Northeastern, they beat them by 20. Well, 10. They beat them by 10. Oh, no, they lost by 10. And they did not cover the spread. It was at plus 2.5. Lost by 10. Charleston, they lost by 13. Yeah, they lost by 13 against Charleston, plus 10.5. Elon, they beat Elon. It was -1 against Elon. So, like I said, I mean, this is going to be the highest spread that Campbell has, and I don't think they have enough to cover that. But let's get into some numbers. Crunch it down some more. So I mean, Hampton, they shoot 44% from the field overall. Not only that, they shoot 33% from the three. It's average. I mean, Campbell, they're gonna allow them to hoop that way. Like, they defend at average as well. Same numbers, almost identical. Campbell, they'll allow opponents to shoot 33% from the three. Well, they shoot 33% from the three and 47% from the field. Hampton, 44% from the field, 32% from the three. Overall, they're going to let them play average. So when it's home and away, Campbell, three-pointer, they shoot 36% from the three, 51% from the field. Hampton pretty much is going to let them do their thing from three, shoot 36% from the three. Not only that, they allow opponents to shoot 48% from the field. Hampton on the road. Hampton is terrible on the road. They shoot 29% from the three, 40% from the field. Campbell defends average, 43% from the field, 30% from the three. I just feel like it's too many points given to Campbell at -9. I feel like Hampton had covered that. Just simple fact. It's just too many points. They've never had a spread like this. Let me go back and fact check that for sure. Oh, they had a -10, and they didn't cover it against Morgan State. So the highest spread they had this year was against Morgan State, and they did not cover against Morgan State. And Morgan State, they're 9-16. They're not the best either. So I mean, they won 3 more games than Hampton. So, no, I just don't see it. That's the highest spread they had all year. It's gonna be Morgan State was -10, and they didn't cover. So, give me Hampton. I feel like Hampton had covered this spread. Feel like they'll get it done. I mean, they played last time they played was in January. They played at Hampton. And Hampton was up in the first half. Then they lost it. They ended up losing by 11. Adjustments will be made. So, well, that's how I feel about that Hampton game. All right, let's see what else we got. I mean, we got Mermick. Dang, they got them -14.5. They got some giant spreads today, boy. Detroit Mercy 1-10 at home. That's insane, boy. Oh, let's see what they got. Let's see what they're talking about. No. We ain't mess with that. But boy, being 1-10 at home is terrible. That's bad. And against the spread, you're 2-9. That's terrible, bro. That's terrible. All right. They got that -9. Dang, these spreads are tremendous. They giant today. Charleston on the road. They're 8-2 on the road. It's actually pretty good. Oh yeah. Let's look at this game. So we got Charleston and Delaware, number one team in the CAA versus number four team in the CAA. My number four team in the CAA is 17-10. All right. So Charleston, they are 8-2 away. They handle business on the road. Delaware 7-3 at home. They handle business somewhat, but looking at the last 10 games, Charleston 7-3. They're 3-7 against the spread. That's the biggest flaw that I see in this game. Delaware 7-3, 3-7 against the spread as well. So looking at Charleston last 10 games, when they are at home, when they are on the road, they barely not even covering the spread. Like they just winning games. But they haven't played anybody crazy. Like this division is weak. Like this conference is weak. Delaware, they were on a 4-game winning streak and lost to Elon. And then came back and beat NCAAB. Charleston, they're on a 5-game winning streak right now. 2 games being on the road. They lost to UNC Wellington, but other than that, they would have been on a 8-game winning streak if they didn't lose to UT Wellington. But let's get into some numbers. Charleston shooting 33% from the 3, 44% from the field. Delaware is going to let them do that. They're going to let them hoop average. I mean, they allow opponents to shoot 31% from the 3 and 42% from the field. Delaware on the offensive side of things, they shoot 35% from the 3, which is really, really good. 47% from the field, which is really good as well. Charleston going to defend average, 44% from the field, 33.6% from the 3, literally average. Let's see how they defend on the road though. So Charleston defense, they're gonna allow opponents to shoot 36% from the 3, 48% from the field. They're literally gonna let Delaware put up those numbers. Charleston offense on the road, they shoot 36%, 37% from the 3, 45% from the field. Delaware holding their opponents to 41% from the field and 29% from the 3. Honestly, they got the spread at plus 1.5, money line at minus 102 for Delaware. I mean, dude, honestly, at home, shoot, I'm rocking with Delaware, really. I mean, it ain't like they're trash at home. They're 7-3. The 3 games that they did lose at home, they lost to Townsend, which is not really that good of a L. That's the only home loss that they lost in the last 10 games. Was Townsend. Everything else is on the road. Yep. 2 games on the road and 1 game at home. So honestly, I feel like I'm rocking with Delaware, especially if they can hold the defense. We're gonna rely on their defense this game. Because Charleston defense is not there when it comes to being on the road. I mean, they're barely squeaking by on the road. I mean, Northeastern, they're terrible. I mean, they're bad. You're gonna beat them, of course. But I like Delaware money line or spread, whichever one someone wants to take, money line or spread. I really don't. If you're gonna do the spread, I really don't like them to get the spread. I mean, the spreads that they've been having, I mean, they've been favoring a lot of them. So it's minus 7.5 against Stony Brook, minus 12 against NCAAB, which they covered, minus 2 against Townsend, they lost, minus 7 against NJ, minus 12.5 against CWM, and they almost covered that. They won by 11. Yeah, Charleston on the road, -4, -4.5. They won by 4. -12.5. Won by 1. Yeah, this game can go either way, but me personally, I'm rocking with Delaware, going based off if they can hold them on the defensive side of things. Like I said, Charleston, they shoot 37% from the 3, but Delaware hold opponents to 29% from the 3. So I'm hoping that they can literally hold them to that. They don't turn the ball over a lot. And notice Delaware doesn't force any turnovers like that either. So, I mean, Charleston forced more turnovers. Delaware doesn't turn the ball over that much. But I like Delaware, but this game can go either way. Let's see what else we got. We got Florida Gulf Coast. Where they got their line at? Oh, really? It's not bad. Kennesaw State versus Florida Gulf Coast. Kennesaw State, they 3-9. Florida Gulf Coast, they 8-3 at home. Got the spread at -2, -3, wherever you can catch it at 3.5, around that range. All right, so Kennesaw State, they're 2-8 in the last 10, bro. They're 0-9 against the spread in the last 10 games, and they pushed one time. Kennesaw Dookie, okay. Florida Gulf Coast 4-6 in the last 10, 7-3 against the spread. Just came off a roll L to Stetson. That's okay though, because they're at home now. All right, they're back at home. So we got Kennesaw State offense, man. Dang, boy, Florida Gulf Coast defense is terrible. It's bad. What's the over/under in this game? 153. Yep, it's gonna be a high-scoring game. They both can't play defense. So Kennesaw State, overall, they shoot 45% from the field, 33% from the 3. Florida Gulf Coast, man, they're gonna let them do that. They allow opponents to shoot 36% from the 3. That's terrible, bro. Florida Gulf Coast on the offensive side of things, overall, 35% from the 3, 45% from the field. Like I said, they're gonna let them do that. Like, Kennesaw allows opponents to shoot 34% from the 3, 44% from the field. The only thing that we can see is how Kennesaw play on the road. Same, literally nothing changed. Kennesaw got better at shooting the 3. They shoot 35% from the 3. Gulf Coast gonna defend at 35%. 44%, and Kennesaw shoot 45% from the field. Florida Gulf Coast defends at 43. Now Florida Gulf Coast, 35. Man, this game is going over. Like, no defense whatsoever will be played in this game. I guarantee you that no defense will be played in this game, bro. Like, this game is gonna be, this game going over. Because literally, bro, Kennesaw allows opponents to shoot 49% from the field, 36% from the 3. I mean, Florida Gulf Coast shoot 35% from the 3, 46% from the field. Now we got to look at the turnovers, man. All right, look. So we look into the turnovers. Florida Gulf Coast, they turn the ball over 10.6 times a game. Kennesaw forced 13 turnovers a game. All right, Kennesaw turns the ball over on their own 13 times a game. Florida Gulf Coast forces about 10 turnovers a game. Overall, turnovers. Last 5 games. Oh my God, last 5 games, Kennesaw defense has been terrible, allowing opponents to shoot 39% from the 3. Goodness. Florida Gulf Coast defense has been pretty good the last 5 games, allowing opponents to shoot 29% from the 3. It's pretty good. That's pretty solid. But me personally, I'm rocking with Florida Gulf Coast in this game. At -2, at -3. I just feel like it's too open. This game is too open. I honestly like the over in this game. Over 153. 153 and a half. Like, this game is going over for sure. Like, there's no doubt in my mind that this game is going over. Like, they just gotta hit shots. I mean, they pushed last time 153. I got it at 153 and a half now. But they pushed last time. But alright, let's see. Let's see what else he got. Let's talk about one more college game. Ain't too much, man. It ain't too much. Minnesota, Ohio State. They got Minnesota in them at 3.5. Oh yeah. Man, Ohio State ain't won a road game yet. You can take the money line on this one. Honestly. But Ohio State 3-7 in the last 10, 5-5 against the spread. Minnesota 8-2 against the spread, 4-6 in the last 10 games. They just came off a good home win against Rutgers a couple days ago. Won by 11. Beat Michigan State and W. And then they lost to Wisconsin by 2, and they lost to Iowa. Ohio State on the road got smacked up by Wisconsin, lost to Iowa. Dude, they lost to Michigan on the road. Nebraska, NW. Like, they got Minnesota at -3.5. I like the play. Ohio State, man, shooting 34% from the 3, 44% from the field. Shoot, Minnesota's gonna allow you to do that. Minnesota shoot 35% from the 3, or 36% from the 3, 48% from the field. Literally, Ohio State is gonna let you shoot that from the 3, and that's overall. On the road, Minnesota at home shooting 36% for the 3. Bro, Ohio State allows opponents to shoot 45% from the 3. That's god awful. That's terrible. Defense is bad at home. It's bad. I mean, Minnesota defense isn't too great either. From the 3, they allow opponents to shoot 33% from the 3. That's average. Ohio State's going to shoot about 31% from the 3, 41% from the field, and Minnesota defends at 41% from the field as well. So that's self-explanatory on who we're rocking with on that game. But I will be right back, and then we'll get into some NBA. All right, let's get into some of this NBA. NBA is back, man. I normally like looking at it when the injury reports and everything settle in, but let's go ahead and look into it. So, okay. Literally, the first game that caught my eye was literally Boston and Chicago. I feel like Tatum got something to prove now that he said he can be the face of the league. You know what I mean? Go on the road, get a dub on the road. Bro, they're cold. They are cold. I mean, they're 17-9 away. You know, against the spread overall this year, they're 25-27. I mean, against the spread on the road, they're 10-13. At home, Chicago, they're 14-12. I mean, but just coming off an All-Star break, I mean, they got them at -8. I mean, nothing crazy. You know what I mean? But honestly, straight up, I like Boston in this matchup. I mean, it's like I just like Boston in this matchup. Self-explanatory. But dang it, but it's hard. It's hard to just throw out anything. Just simple fact, we don't know who's playing. You know, but I was looking at Boston. I was looking at the Warriors. I was looking at that Mavericks game. I was looking at the Pacers. The Pacers, shit, they still in all-star form. They still in Indy with it. After the break, then you get a home game in Indy. You know, looking at Indy. I was looking at the Magic game, but they talking about Paolo is questionable now with the illness. No point looking at that game if Paolo is not gonna play. Might look at like a player prop like Wendell Carter rebounds or Mo Wagner, Franz Wagner to go crazy. But Orlando last 10, man, they 8-2 against the spread. They've been killing it. Detroit last 10 against the spread, they 6-4. So I mean, but a lot of these teams, I mean, last 10, shit, Boston, bro. Honestly, they last 10, they 2-7 against the spread. That's really bad. I mean, I still think they'll pull it off, but 2-7. Like, this is a fresh start of the season. Like, this is the second chapter. Like, all this stuff is just like, yeah. The biggest fear is lazy basketball, bro. That's what I'm afraid of, is lazy basketball. But I mean, they got the Kings talking about -11. It's gonna be. I don't know. It's gonna be weird. But until I get some more injury report stuff, I'm probably not even gonna lock nothing in. I can give you an idea what I do like. Paolo don't play. I like Wendell Carter rebounds. For sure, because he's gonna get minutes. I like Tyrese assists, of course. I don't care where it's at. I like it. No Julius Randle still. No Julius Randle. Bogey. Maybe. No, he's playing. Bogey's playing. Is it Hartenstein? He's done. No, he's playing. He's probable. Okay, I like Hartenstein. I like his rebounds because Joel is not gonna play. Is OG back? Nah, not yet. I like either Josh Hart or Hartenstein rebounds as well against Philly. Philly don't have a big right now. I really do like that Warriors spread, especially if everybody plays. Denver and Washington. Denver should smash these boys, if you want to be completely honest. Now, when it comes to the spread, I don't know. Washington like to hang around. They got it at -15. So, I wouldn't even fool around with the spread. The trashiest game of the day is Charlotte and the Jazz. They got the Jazz minus 9.5. I do like Charlotte spread in this one because the Jazz is not that good to just get them a 9.5 spread against Charlotte. I mean, but dang, boy, like what? No way. I mean, they started five will be Miles Bridges, B. Millie, Nick Richard. It's not even Nick Richard. Yeah, Nick Richards. I do like his rebounds. Cody Martin and Trey Man. So I mean, 9.5 though for the Jazz. Nah, no way, bro. No way. Emmanuel Quickly. They got his 3+3s made at plus 115. Depending on who play, I like it. Russell Westbrook over 3.5 assists. I don't know about that. Oh man, Paul Reed 10 points for sure. I like that. I mean, there's no big man really out there. I mean, he gonna have to play. But yeah, man, join the Telegram. I'm finna go find me something to eat, man. A brother is starving. Not gonna lie, a brother is starving. But literally, bro, join the Telegram. It's completely free. I keep telling y'all, it's free. You don't have to pay to join the Telegram. It's free. So, join it. Click the link in the description. I'll be sending my picks in there. I know I went over some games, but best believe I'll be sending my picks in there. So, definitely join the Telegram. But I'm going to go fix me something to eat real quick. And your boy